Right now, while you're watching this, your brain is already running a simulation. It's not showing you what's happening. It's showing you what could happen, what might go wrong, what might fall apart, who might leave, what might never come. And the strangest part, your brain doesn't always know the difference between a threat that's real and one that only lives inside your imagination. You've lost sleep over conversations that never actually happened. You've dreaded outcomes that never came. You've carried the weight of futures that existed nowhere except inside your own head. And if you've ever asked yourself why does my mind do this to me? Then stay with this. Because what you're about to understand about yourself might change the way you experience every single day. Two people are walking through that world. The first one is relaxed, optimistic. He hears a sound in the bushes and thinks, probably nothing. The second one? He freezes. His heart pounds. He assumes the worst before he has any evidence. Now here's the question. Which one of them made it home? The anxious one. The one who assumed danger before it was confirmed. Because in that world, being wrong about a threat cost you nothing. But missing a real one cost you everything. So over thousands of years, nature selected for the brains that worried more. The ones that anticipated, rehearsed danger, and stayed on alert. Scientists call this negativity bias. Your brain gives roughly twice the mental weight to a potential loss as it gives to an equivalent gain. It's not a flaw. It's ancient software doing exactly what it was designed to do. The problem is, that software is running in a completely different world now. The predator you're afraid of isn't hiding in the bushes. It's a text that hasn't been answered. A bill you're not sure you can pay. A job you're afraid of losing. A person you're terrified of disappointing. Your brain responds to all of it the same way it responded to a lion. Full emergency. Flood the system. Prepare for the worst. And here's where it gets interesting. There was a man about 2,000 years ago who understood something that most people today still haven't figured out. He wasn't a philosopher sitting in comfortable halls, theorizing about life in the abstract. He lived through exile. He survived political betrayal. He watched people he trusted turn against him. He lived under an emperor who could have had him killed at any moment, and eventually did. His name was Seneca, and from inside that life, a life of genuine danger, real uncertainty, and constant threat, he made an observation that stopped me cold the first time I read it. He said, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." Read that again slowly. Not sometimes, not occasionally, more often. Think about the last week of your life. Count up the hours you spent inside your own head, rehearsing worst cases, bracing for impact, suffering through things that hadn't happened, and, in most cases, never did. Seneca wasn't speaking from comfort. He wasn't telling people to look on the bright side. He was a man who had lost everything more than once. And what he found, in the ruins of those losses, was that most of what he had feared in advance never came. And the things that did come, he had survived. What he was describing wasn't weakness. It was a pattern he had watched destroy people who should have been fine. The wound wasn't always the event. The wound was the waiting. Now here's the part that makes this real. Deep inside your brain, there's a small structure called the amygdala. Think of it as your brain's threat detector. Its entire job is to scan your environment and ask one question. Constantly, every second. Is this dangerous? When it decides yes, even when that danger is imaginary, it fires off a chemical alarm. Cortisol floods your body, your heart rate climbs, Your muscles tighten, your digestive system slows down, your thinking narrows, your whole biology shifts into one mode. Survive this. And here's what most people don't know. The amygdala cannot read calendars. It cannot tell the difference between a threat happening right now and a threat you're imagining might happen next week, next month, or next year. When you lie in bed at 2 a.m., thinking about a conversation you might have tomorrow, your amygdala responds as if that conversation is already happening, right now, in the dark, with you unable to escape it. Neuroscientists call this anticipatory anxiety. Your body is paying the biological cost of an event that may never occur. And if it becomes a habit, if your brain learns that imagining threats is just what it does, then cortisol stops being an emergency response. It becomes your baseline. That's when the exhaustion sets in. That's when you start waking up already tired, when every small thing feels heavier than it should. You're waiting for a text back. It's been 3 hours. You've checked your phone 14 times. You've already written 3 different versions of what you're going to say if the response isn't good. You've already imagined the version where it ends badly. And that imaginary ending, the one that hasn't happened, already hurts. Or maybe it's a medical test. You got results pending, and now every hour feels like it lasts 3 days. You've already Googled the symptoms. You've already started preparing for the worst conversation. You've already carried the grief of a diagnosis that hasn't come. Maybe it's money. The numbers don't quite add up this month. And instead of thinking about this month, your brain has jumped 6 months forward into a future where everything has collapsed, where you've lost it all, where you're starting over from nothing. Your brain didn't do this to hurt you. It was trying to prepare you. But preparation that never ends isn't protection. It's punishment. Here's the thing that took me a long time to actually accept. Your mind is not your enemy. It is not broken. It is not working against you. It exaggerates because it loves you. In its own distorted, ancient, exhausting way, it is trying to keep you safe. That threat detector we talked about, it never got the memo that the environment changed. It doesn't know that most of your threats today don't require physical survival. It just knows one thing: protect this person at all costs. And so it runs worst-case scenarios constantly, not because something is wrong with you, but because it believes, genuinely believes, that if it can just show you every possible danger in advance, you'll be ready. What you're fighting isn't an enemy. It's an overprotective system that never learned when to stand down. And you can't fight your way out of that. You have to learn to work with it. The Stoics had a practice they called distinguishing the willing from the unwilling. In plain language, know what you control and stop paying the price of things you don't. Here's what that looks like in real life. When your mind starts building catastrophe, when it hands you a future full of worst cases, stop and ask one question. Is this happening right now? Not could it happen? Not what if it does? Is it happening? Right now, in this moment. Most of the time, the honest answer is no. You're safe, you're sitting, you're breathing. The disaster your mind is showing you is a projection, not a reality. A second technique comes from the same tradition. Seneca practiced it deliberately. He would take the fear he was carrying and follow it all the way to its conclusion, not to torture himself, but to discover that even the worst version was survivable. What if I actually lose this? Walk it all the way to the end. What would you do? Who would you call? How would you rebuild? Most fears, when fully examined, lose their power, because underneath them is usually a version of life that while painful, is still a life. And finally, and this one is simple, which is why most people ignore it, come back to the body. Your amygdala fires when it's in your head. It quiets when you're actually in your body. 3 slow breaths, hands on a surface, the temperature of the air. This isn't meditation. It's a system override. You're telling your nervous system, no emergency. We're here. We're okay. Doesn't fix everything, but it interrupts the loop. And sometimes, interrupting the loop is everything. Here's what I want to leave you with. You were not given a broken mind. You were given a very old one that survived ice ages, predators, and centuries of genuine chaos by imagining danger before it arrived. That mind kept your ancestors alive so that one day you could exist. It just never learned to rest. And the work, the real work, isn't about silencing it, or fighting it, or wishing it were different. It's about learning to say, quietly and firmly, I see what you're doing. I know why you do it. And I'm okay right now. Maybe your life doesn't need fewer problems. Maybe it just needs a mind that stops multiplying them. If you've spent years fighting battles inside your own head, battles that exhausted you, confused you, or made you feel like something was fundamentally wrong with you, this channel was built for you. We don't chase motivation here. We don't sell easy answers. We study the mind, how it works, why it works that way, and how to stop letting it run your life on autopilot. If that's something you want more of, subscribe. New episodes drop regularly, and the next one continues where this one leaves off.